Hello Heathlands at home, it's Helen back again with another cooking recipe video for you. So this week what I thought I'd do is I'd show you how to make cheese straws or cheese twists. So if I come round, I'll show you all the ingredients that you're going to need this week. So you're going to need some plain flour to dust your surface with, some puff pastry. Now I've got a block here, but you could get the sheets that's ready to roll out. Some Marmite, an egg and some cheese. So today I'm using Gruyere, which is a nice Swiss cheese, mature cheese, but you could just use cheddar, it works perfectly well. So what I've done in advance of making the video is I've turned the oven on to preheat, and that's at 180 degrees, and my oven's a fan oven. The other thing I've done is I've taken about a tablespoon and a half, 2 tablespoons of Marmite, and I very gently melted it or softened it on the hob. Now I'm doing that because my microwave isn't working at the moment, but you could melt this, you could make it go runnier in the microwave, and what I'd do is I'd put it in a microwave container and just do 10-second bursts until it becomes more liquid and less tacky. Now, the recipe that is in your activity books says that you use normal Marmite. Today I'm using this, which is chili Marmite, because Mark and I absolutely adore chili. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear down, I'm going to pre-roll my pastry ahead of the next bit of the video, and I'm going to grate my cheese, and then I'll show you how we put all of our cheese twists together. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've prepped an awful lot of what we need for making our cheese straws or our cheese twists. I have grated about half of that block of Gruyere, so it's about 100 grams here. I've whisked my egg, and as I said, I have melted or made my Marmite runnier. So I'm using a block of pastry, like I said, and about a quarter of the block makes a sheet probably half the size of a pre-rolled sheet. So if you're using a pre-rolled sheet, you'll need all of the ingredients that I've said, and it should be the perfect amount. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to take a kitchen kind of paintbrush, a silicone brush, and we're going to use our Marmite, and what we're going to do is paint Marmite onto half of our pastry. And this is why it's important that you melt it first, because it is very sticky stuff. As you can see, it's not even particularly spreading well here, but it will be just perfect amount for making our cheese twists. So I'm trying not to distort the pastry too much as well as I'm putting it on. So it's probably about enough. So as you can see, I've put Marmite on about half of my pastry. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle that half with the very finely grated cheese that I've done. You don't want the layer to be too thick, but you do want to get the cheese everywhere, and the Marmite will help it stick. So once you've got a layer of cheese everywhere, the next thing you need to do is this half of your pastry that's been left plain, you want to lift it up and over in half to meet the other side. So what you need to do then is to press it down. You might need to dust your surface a little more. If so, just be careful when you lift this up. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out again till it's about 3 to 4 millimeters thick. So that's just less than half a centimetre. Now if you need someone to give you a hand with that, that's absolutely fine. You don't want to roll it out too thin though, because otherwise things will start poking through. So I think that is about the right size. So the next thing we need to do is taking that brush again. It doesn't matter that it's got Marmite on. We're going to egg wash all over our pastry. So it takes just a minute, but you need to get it done all over. So once you've got a good layer of egg all over your pastry, what you're going to do again is very gently sprinkle it with cheese. Not as much as the layer in between the two bits of pastry, but just enough to give your cheese twists or straws a nice bit of texture and crunch on the outside as well. So once all that's done, the next thing we need to do is we need to cut these into strips. So you want your cheese straws to be about 1.5 centimetres to 2 centimetres wide. So you just simply cut through the pastry in nice straight lines. Moving them out the way to do the next one. And you're going to do that all the way along. Now, what you're going to do after you've cut all of your pastry into strips is you're going to twist it. So you want to be quite gentle with this. It can be better to actually do it in your baking sheet. As you can see that I've lined with baking parchment here. So if we put a couple onto the baking sheet, and then I'm going to just twist them very gently, and then I'll show you what they look like once they're twisted up. And that is our cheese straws. So hopefully, if I hold this up, you can see those there. I'm going to do the rest of my pastry just like this, and I'm going to pop these into a preheated oven on 180 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. Do keep an eye on them because every oven's different, so after about 15 minutes have a check on them, and if you think they need longer, just leave them in a bit longer. What I'll do is I'll put the recipe in the activity book. It will also go onto our blog, and I will put photographs of the finished products up at the end. Okay, thanks for watching guys. Hope you have a good one. Bye!